What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Past Six Podcast. I'm your host, JB. As always, joining me, Tsunamic Wave. What's going on, bro?
Hey man, I'm chilling. Chilling like a villain on our new day. You know how you feeling?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So
Uh,
now, officially, Tuesday nights, we call Goodell. We didn't want to. He's like, yo, please don't compete with us. I was like, all right. Had to call Vince McMahon and Triple H. He's like, please don't compete with us either. All right, so we're gonna move to Tuesday nights. You know what I mean? We're gonna do them a solid. You know, what I mean, we grew up on football and wrestling. We're gonna do them a solid. Nah, appreciate all the love and content creators that we also chop it up with on the daily. It's been dope. How are you though, bro?
I can't complain. Like you said, man, we Roger Goodell did us a favor. We had them extra Jerry Jones pitches in the pocket just in case. Um, but he looked out. School year starting soon. For both college. Well, college already started, but uh, high school and elementary and all of those other things in the education field on the East Coast is starting soon. So yeah, it's
Absolutely.
good, man. Right, excited to start.
Absolutely. So once again, if you see on the screen, live every Tuesday, 9:05, we will be here talking about what we love. I mean, before we even get started, man, I just want to say to all my wrestling fans, rest in peace to Bray Wyatt, man.
Yeah,
Um,
rest in peace.
kind of came out of nowhere. Also, rest in peace to the legend Terry Funk as well. Last week was just kind of a rough week for the wrestling fans, right? Terry Funk unfortunately passed away. Then Bray Wyatt, who was only 36 years old, passed away from heart problems. It is just out of nowhere. You know what I mean? People's awaiting his return in the ring, and of course you get the horrible news, man. Just wanted to start out with that because wrestling obviously has been a big part of a lot of our lives, but also video games. You know what I mean? WWE video games growing up, WCW, even the AEW game that's out now. So definitely want to say shout out. I forgot who it was. Somebody said it on Battle Rap, like wrestlers and rappers, man, they die too soon. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that.
too frequently. But yeah. So I don't know how you even transitioned from that, but what games
Yeah.
you been currently playing, bro?
Yeah. RIP to the two legends that lost their life.
Absolutely.
Like I said before, I've been a little bit busy, but I did squeeze some time in for gaming. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a day where I was playing Apex with the homies. I just played a little bit of Remnant, which I think is a really dope game. I think if you haven't tried Remnant or played it, you should try I think it's fun. If you into those type of games, it's like a soul type game. So if you're into them games that's gonna give you a challenge, I would definitely try it. And I was at my boy house actually. John, he's a frequent supporter, so shout out to my boy if he here. I
No
was at
doubt.
his crib, and we was getting some games in. I got my behind kicked in 2K over there. But I did win the game of Mario Kart, so I'm 1-1. So I was feeling a little good leaving. But yeah, those are the games I've been playing, man. I think there's a little technical difficulties over there.
No doubt.
Oh, okay, back.
Yep. We're here.
Yeah, so those were the games I've been playing.
Okay. So for me, definitely played some Madden. Uh I'm
Wait,
literally
did you buy it? Cause you gotta
no,
be
no,
done
no.
with your 10
Nope.
hours. You ain't done
Nope.
with your 10 hours?
Bro, here's what I've been doing. I got it down to a science. Franchise mode, each game on average, you know what I mean? About half hour. Obviously, it's a 10-hour trial. So I literally jumped straight into the franchise mode. I played the first two games in one day, and then literally I
Yeah.
just been playing one game a day. Cause like
Boy, you
even
milking the crap out of them 10 hours, man.
like it's to the point where it's like I really don't even want them to play online because it's really the same game. You know what I mean? So I'm literally just gonna
Right.
complete the franchise mode, and at that point, if I'm done with the trial, cool. If I'm not, then I might jump online see if they fixed anything. Other than that, like I said, I'm waiting until Game Pass. It literally if they took 3 steps ahead, you know what I mean?
Right.
I would have no problem buying the game. Starfield obviously is a Game Pass game. I'm going to get MK1 when that come out. You know what I mean? That's $70. You know what I mean? So I'm going to pay for that.
Right.
I'm paying for good games. It's just when you get to play a trial and it ain't that good, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You might as well.
I also played Call of Duty. My daughter starting to love to like. She likes to watch it. You know what I mean? She likes to watch the game. Also, like Jess said, Power Wash Simulators. I've been watching her play that game.
That's surprisingly a good game. I played that. I'm not gonna
you
lie.
played it?
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It's not my thing, but I see the appeal because I like flight simulator. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah,
literally,
it's one
like,
of those odd, satisfying things.
Yeah. It's cool. Like it's cool. Like I said, to me, it's one of. I mean, obviously, if it wasn't on Game Pass, probably wouldn't be playing it, right? But hell, same thing with Flight Simulator. I can't see me buying that, but definitely playing that. Angel was good. He said, my guys, what's good? Also, shout out to Bob Webby Drake. What's going on? What's going on, bro?
What's good? What's good?
Yeah. So other than that, it's really those two games. I'm just right now waiting. MK1, the trailers all look dope. I saw today they put out a commercial for the new Mortal Kombat game that drops on September, I believe, 14th or 9/19th off September 14th. If you have the early access, they recreated the original Mortal Kombat commercial. We all know it when the kid is screaming Mortal Kombat is Mortal Monday and all that. They remade that commercial which was super dope. So I'm hyped for it. I'm ready for it. But before we even get there, Starfield is out next week, and I'm hyped for that too. So,
question. First of all, well, I asked you this question. Shout out, Angel. I saw your stream when you played Madden and a little COD too. Pretty dope. You made me realize that I'm not copping Madden, but that's another story for another time.
Word.
But I know you like fighting games, Jay. And yesterday I just saw some news that I don't know if you are a fan of this franchise, but Tekken 8 is in the works.
Yes.
And they starting to do like little hints and gameplay footages for Tekken 8. And Tekken 8 is coming out soon. Are you excited for that?
So I'm gonna be honest. I'm not as big of a fan of Tekken as I am Mortal Kombat, and part of that is nostalgia. I'm gonna be completely honest, right? Tekken, I can't wait for it. I'm definitely gonna get it. I'm probably gonna get it for the PS5, just because I mean Tekken, like it started on the PlayStation, so like I'm gonna play it.
That's PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm hyped because like literally we just had Street Fighter drop in June, MK drops in September, and I believe Tekken that's this year, right? It's not, or is it early 2024?
I didn't see a date. I just saw that they working on it.
Regardless, so it's a few months away, you know what I mean? So the fact that we getting like these 3 franchises, and they've had so many come to try to like knock them out, you know what I mean? Like you could say Power Stone, you could say Dead or Alive, Soul Calibur. You know what I mean? There's so many games that's like, but yet here we are, Street Fighter 6, MK1, and Tekken 8. So like yeah, definitely Street Fighter 6 was dope. MK1 looks like it's going to be dope, and so does Tekken 8. So I'm definitely hyped for those as well. But yeah, literally, I'm just getting ready. Starfield's out next week. That's going to take up a lot of time. MK1 comes out literally a week after that because I have the deluxe. So literally a week from that is out, and then literally then a few weeks after that, I mean, 2K is out what, the 20th, 29th, something like that of September. And then
I'm not following 2K dates. I don't even know.
Yeah, we all know the way I treat Madden is the way you treat 2K. Like,
yeah, you know I got that love-hate relationship.
Yeah. So, and then literally Spider-Man, the Spider-Man 2 was out literally in October. So like there's so many games. Well, we're in that what I call the holiday window now. You know what I mean? Where like games is just dropping left and right. Speaking of games, let's get right into this week in gaming, where we briefly look at games that dropped throughout this week in history. And kicking this one off, man, is a game that absolute classic. If you don't like this game, just leave. Real talk. We talking about Crash Bandicoot, man. Dropped. Damn, 27 years ago, 1996. First off, rest in peace to the guy who voice crashed. He unfortunately passed away in a car crash. We covered that a few months ago. Unfortunately, when that happened. But Crash Bandicoot, bro, we know you're a fan of Naughty Dog, obviously.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this game, bro?
When I was younger, man, so like when this came out, I wasn't a fan of Crash, and it's not because the game was bad. It was because I was terrible. Like I wasn't used to the way the screen move. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it was type odd to me. Like sometimes you'll be like looking directly at him. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'll be looking at him in the back. Sometimes it'll have the side view. Um, so I mean, I think that was cool the way they put that together. I just couldn't get very far. But I always been a fan of the Crash franchise. They do a good job with not only that was a bet from Jay, not me. I'm not good at Street Fighter. They do a good job with not only the gameplay, um they story is pretty deep, pretty cool. It ain't like no real deep story, but it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Um all of the games that they did is pretty good. I think Crash, if they would be more consistent, would have a chance to be like where I want to say like I really want to say Mario, like not to that level, but I think it would have been close if they would have been more consistent
Right.
with dropping Crash Bandicoot games. You know what I mean? I feel like PlayStation missed with Crash Bandicoot in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, man. Obviously, I mean, Crash. When it comes to that PlayStation mascot, some would say Crash is the first, right? But also, you got Spyro. You can even
Right.
say Jack and Dexter. You know what I mean? Like literally,
Yeah.
there's like there like PlayStation has a few. But nah, I remember first playing this game and getting the apples or pears, peaches, or whatever the hell they are, and just the sounds and it was different, man. Like it was yeah, like word. And obviously the villain Cortex. I definitely agree with what Jessica said. Was she like, I don't think it's a bad Crash. Crash 1, 2, 3, Wrath of Cortex. Like yeah, they was like
Nitro.
real Nitro. Yeah, the racing games too. Like Crash is super dope, man. It's one of those games that like literally like I still can go back and just play for fun. You know what I mean? I may not sit there and play through the entire game, right?
Right.
But to say that, I like when they came out with the insane trilogy, I literally went out and bought it because I has the first three Crash games just remastered, and it's a real remaster, not like Grand Theft Auto did.
Yeah.
Like it's a real dope remaster. And when Crash 4 came out, play that too. You know what I mean? Like, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Crash fan through and through. Shout out to Naughty Dog. Shout out to everybody who had a part in it. And again, rest in peace to the guy who voiced Crash because it's just sad. But at the same time, man, like talking about a legendary game, talking about making a splash like for PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, jumping out the gate with a game like this because I love Mario 64, which came out the same year as this, but this just had a whole different style to it. You know what I mean? It felt more
Right.
older than Mario in a way. And obviously Sonic is dope too, but it just felt different. But definitely shout out to Crash Bandicoot. Um, yeah, so yo, we about to jump into the next game. The next game we talking about is a game that this was the first game to probably make me feel old, if I'm being real. We talking about if you see the Neversoft, you know what this game is. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, man, dropped 23 years ago, which is 24 years ago. I'm sorry, 1999. Yo, we talked about Dave Mirra's the bicycle game, right? The BMX game, either last
Right.
week or the week before, and we basically said it was kind of a rip off of this, which they admitted, same company, same everything. But this was the OG, man. This was the one that really got it shaking. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, bro. Talk to me.
Bro, this game is one of my favorite games. When I was younger, man, I used to be doing like the million, 2 million, 3 million, 7 million point combos. Like I used to just be crazy with it. So I would just start on the manual and just do wait, it's not a manual.
Yes, Emmanuel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then just do, you know how you could switch the manual style. So like I would just like be manual in and like still though, like I wouldn't really move. I would just do the manual and then you could like do the pogo stick, then flip it to the backside I don't
Right.
know all the tricks, so excuse me. I like skating, but I don't know all the names of the tricks.
Yeah, yeah,
But you
yeah.
do flip it to the backside and just continuously do different type of manuals in one spot. I would just sit there all day, and that was fun to me, just getting all the points. And I'm not gonna lie, I could do the skating like this is and still get the points, but like when you was trying to get the high score, I would just sit there and do manual. This
Right.
game is iconic. I had it on PlayStation. I had it for what handheld system did I have this for? I think it was the Game Boy Advance, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Um, and it's just dope. And I got it now for the Xbox Series X with the remaster version, which I think they did a good job. They ain't
Yes.
do a Grand Theft Auto type remaster,
Yeah,
which is
word,
make it
word.
brighter. And, it's still got the blocky arms. They actually went in and made it dope. This game is definitely goated. I agree with you. This is fire. I love Tony Hawk.
Yeah, man. Yo, this is a game. So quiet as I've always loved the skating culture, right? I just know the first time I stepped on a skateboard and I fell cartoon style, feet up in the air. I knew it wasn't for me. Like, like right, I ain't
Right.
gonna lie. Like, but I've always loved the skating culture, and like this game was just so like this game was so strong, man. Like in a way, just the soundtrack was dope. You know what I mean? That's why
Right.
like you turn on the game, you hear the soundtrack, that was dope. It's cartoony enough to have to be very arcadey and have fun with it. But yet just like you said, I remember popping this into the PS1. And the PS1 version is more adult than the 64 version, right? The Dreamcast
Yeah.
version is the best but it also came later. But at the same time, bro, like I remember playing this and seeing the blood and seeing like the names of the tricks, like the long ass grind, which is 64, obviously changed the name because we know how the Nintendo are.
Yeah.
Shout out to Retro Rob. You did make it to one. Let me get your thoughts on Tony Hawk 1, bro. Yeah, the tapes, like the secret tapes and stuff. This game was incredible, man. And I definitely want to echo what you said about how they did the remaster. Because anybody out there, if you love these games, I'm telling you, check out the 1 and 2 that they remastered. It comes in a bundle of both of them.
Yep.
It's so good, man. It sticks true to it, but yet it's modernized in such a beautiful way. Such a beautiful way. Again, I do agree with Retro Rob. The Dreamcast version is the best version. Definitely check that out. Um, yeah, man. Like I could talk about this game all day. I'm a big fan of the franchise. Tony Hawk 5 kind of let us all down, but I still played it. I ain't gonna lie. Like I wasn't as hard on the game as most were. I was just like, hey man, the fact that we have a Tony Hawk game, it's cool with me. But
Right.
I'm a big fan of this. All right, so let's get to the next game. The next game we're talking about is a game also played the best on the Dreamcast. Spider-Man. First off, PlayStation 1 intro, legendary. Just seeing that just bring me back. Like I can hear it. It's not even playing on my ears right now,
Yeah,
and I
me
can hear
too.
it. Yeah. But Spider-Man came out in 2000, man. Like literally, like whole like it's so long ago now that it kind of makes you feel old. Um, but yeah, man, obviously Spider-Man games they've always been dope, right? Going back to the Super Nintendo, Sega, but but this one, man, was the first one that I was like, yo, this is crazy. He really like it sounds crazy now, but he really swinging, right? Like he's swinging through
Right.
got a lot of nostalgia for this game, if I'm being completely honest. But I'm gonna start with you though. What's your thoughts on this game?
I mean, I at 2000, I was more into sports games. I'm always gonna make that very clear. So I didn't get too much into the Spider-Man game. Um, I mean, some games I did play outside of sports. I'm not gonna say and act like I only play sports. That'd be I'd be lying to me. But I didn't play the Spider-Man. Um, from what I heard though, this is a pretty hard game, like a pretty hard Spider-Man. Um, I don't even know. Can you web swing in this joint?
Like
Is it
outside, you
like
talking about?
yeah, like
Yeah.
like the new Spider-Man is.
So
But
obviously it's not as in depth. You can't walk on the ground, right? You can't walk on the ground in the city and stuff like that, but you can swing through the city. Yeah.
oh yeah, so I mean, it looks pretty good for the year that it came out, 2000. This is what like a lot of our games kind of look like.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't. I don't really have too much bad things to say about it. I'm not gonna act like this is a game that I actually played though. But it
Okay.
looks it's dope. It's Spider-Man. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I played the hell out of this game, so I'll start there.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah,
to the expert of this game right here.
yo, man, this game was so dope. First off, I definitely agree with the chat, Retro Rob, Angel, but this was not quite the ones that we got on Xbox and PS2, like Retro Rob said. I 100% agree, but I feel like they took a lot from these games. You know what I mean? Just the fact that to show that obviously Spider-Man's love ain't going nowhere, right? The game was dope. The story mode was cool. Story mode, it also had Carnage in there, which we don't see a lot of Carnage. You know what I mean? In current games, maybe hopefully this next one we'll see, I guess. But yeah, obviously the ones that came, especially Spider-Man 2, was just out of here, right? But this one was special, man. This one definitely was one of those games that like you literally play it like even now, like I say, pop it in. All of a sudden, you'll be like, okay, this is not bad. I could definitely see how it's still good now, but in 2000, it was really dope. And Venom's my guy, so I'm a little biased too. Like, like I really
No,
love Venom, so this game was dope.
looking back on some of these games though in the 2000s, it's like some games was like really done well, and then some games was just kind of put together.
Yeah,
Um, before when they was in that room with him and I forget Scorpion, what's his name? Scorpion. Um, it looked pretty decent, but I'm looking at Venom, and Venom just looked crazy to me. Like
yo, we're
his
not doing
teeth
that.
look painted on, like his why they fingers not separated. It's just I don't know. I don't want to look too deep into
It's
it
the
because this is
time, man. It's the
2000.
time. It's the
Yeah, I
time.
know, but it's some games in 2000 that we both played and looked at,
That's
and they
fair.
have done a lot better job with the characters. This almost looked like Lego Spider-Man, if I'm being honest. You
All
know what
right,
I'm saying?
let's get to the comments. Hopefully, a lot more positive. Like,
I I just thought I just saw I'm a Venom fan, so I saw Venom. I was like, whoa, they probably could have did him a little better.
I got you. Jessica Brown says Spider-Man is the perfect superhero for video game adaptations. Who doesn't want to just swing around NYC all day? It's so fun. That's what I really like about Spider-Man 2. I know we're not talking about that game right now. Was just being able to swing through the city, and obviously Spider-Man when it came out on a PS4, that was just crazy. Literally
Yeah,
being able to swing through the city.
I still
Andrew
play that to
Armstrong,
swing
what's
through the
up,
city.
Andrew? What's going on, bro? He said this was fun for a bit. Yeah, like once you play through the story, it's really not much to do after. Like there are comics that you can collect, but at the same time, it
Could you
wasn't.
read them? So that would be really dope.
I don't think so, to be honest. Well, at least I don't know about on the PlayStation 1 version because I played it on Dreamcast. But Angel, he said Dreamcast is the most underrated console ever. Completely agree.
I agree.
And does not get enough props that it deserves. Completely agree.
Look at Rhino.
So many classic titles, and just presentation was phenomenal for his time. Yo, Dreamcast, I always say it's one of my favorite consoles, and I know it doesn't have the amount of games as the PS2 and the 360 and all that, but I love that console to death. Retro Rob, my man, said they did agree that this is definitely a foundation that game that set the standard 100%. Andrew said, I still want dinner with his aunt. Shout out to Aunt May, man.
I
Shout
almost
out to
forgot
Aunt May.
about that.
Wait. Are you talking about the MCU one? Or are you talking about the Aunt May from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man? I'm asking. Like, we don't judge
doesn't
here at
matter.
Pass the Sticks. Like, we don't judge here at Pass the Sticks. Just saying. Said not the fingers. Dreamcast is still online. That is a very good point. Dreamcast you can still play online, which is absurd. And there are still games in Japan that come out for the Dreamcast that are cool. That's cool. Not official by Sega, but still. As Retro Rob says, still getting games made.
On the Dreamcast. Listen, I was still cop. I mean they need to make you know how I feel about Dreamcast. I feel like they need to
Right.
make another one. Like Sega need to come out with another Dreamcast.
Said now you know damn well which he said I play the field. I'll take all for 100. Like I said, here at Pass the Six, we don't judge. That's all I'm saying. We don't judge. Harry Osborne. All right. Let's get to the next game, man. All right, the next game we talk about is a game that I talk about often on the show, and I'm glad we finally get to touch upon one of them. SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs came out on the PlayStation 2 back in 2002, and as you guys know, I've been a big fan of Call of Duty until probably the last 4 years. So that's kind of when I fell off. But I've always been a fan of like the military games, and this is one of the games that I always had to have a PlayStation for. Right? There's a bunch of games I liked on PlayStation, but being that this was an exclusive, I always had to have a PlayStation. This game, this 2 and 3, and I know some don't like 3, but this franchise is so special to me because when Call of Duty came out, it was cool. Medal of Honor was cool. I loved it. We talked about Rainbow Six last week. I love it. There was a time where this for me was number one, bro. SOCOM. I'm gonna start on this one. I've played every SOCOM game and beat it to completion. I can't say that about COD. You know what I mean? I can't say that about Rainbow Six. I can't say that about Medal of Honor. I have ones that I love near and dear, but SOCOM was so special to me, man. Like the tacticals that you could play in this game, being able to command your team and use that, it was just so damn good. I can talk about this game forever. I'll shut up and let Wave go. But yo, SOCOM is so good. Yo, if y'all have not played it, go hunt down a PlayStation 2. Go hunt down a PS3 for SOCOM 3. Play it, man. I'm telling y'all, it's so good. What's your thoughts on this game, man? Please be polite.
I'm gonna be as polite as I can. I'm not gonna say nothing crazy though. I like SOCOM. I'm not gonna lie. SOCOM is the game that brought me to military shooters. So you know what I mean. It's one. I was never really into the story mode because like me and my cousin was online all the time. Like this was one of the first games we played online. And we stayed on this game all day. The only complaint I had about SOCOM, especially U.S. Navy SEALs, was probably one of the probably the best one in my opinion. That's the one I played the most. Right. But the drop shot was just too crazy. Like you just run up on somebody and immediately lay on the floor. I know Kai had that for a while, but like it was unrealistic how fast they got on the ground. And people got to the point where they was excellent at running. Once you saw them, they was on their belly shooting you in the head, and it was kind of crazy. So like you had to be on top of your game to be good at SOCOM. Is that dude cheating? Oh, I don't know.
Yo, you so conditioned with COD that you think everybody cheating.
Like, I just saw the red box.
Yo,
I saw the red box. That looked like cheating. But SOCOM is a beautiful game. This was the game, in my opinion, that the only game right now that probably could come out, and if they do it right, let me not act like they could just drop and they gonna sell. But if they do it right, they probably could make COD become a better game. This might be something that could compete with COD. Right.
I don't know how they would do the online play like to compete with the modern COD, because obviously that's what everybody buys those games for, right? But I just know we want to talk about a story mode and campaign is good. And shout out to Mo, the Swift one. Yes, I am not overrating SOCOM. It's a great game, great franchise. People don't like it, but those people are lame. SOCOM is so dope, bro. It's one of the best franchises of all time. Why they gave up on it probably had something to do with the same reason why they gave up on Killzone. The power of Call of Duty. It outsold them all. You know what I mean? That's why they probably gave up on it. But it was great. It was absolutely great. Retro Rob said they did make another to Dreamcast. It's called the Xbox. I love the story of the Xbox, and that is partially true. Absolutely.
Right, but they still need to be separate entity.
Right. Andrew said, yes, network adapter, and I tore up those lobbies. That's where I learned to talk crap for all current games. Yo, look, man, people sleep on SOCOM. That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Angel, you said they give up on SOCOM. That was supposed to be the COD we needed with stealth action at all. Y'all are preaching the gospel besides Mo.
Imagine this snowboard with a battle royale. This would be crazy.
He said because they both wasn't as good as. Look, man, I'm not gonna sit here and act like the Call of Duties they weren't good, because they were very good. But SOCOM was special too, man. I'm gonna have to go back and see. I think SOCOM might have been better. It might have been a little better. It's just when Modern Warfare came out in '07, it was a wrap. You know what I mean? The way they did the online, it was just you can't compete with that. But in terms of those first games when they was going head to head, not a chance.
Mo,
All
you
right,
sound like you was trash or so calm.
he was.
I could tell.
Yo, let's jump into the next game. The next game we're talking about is a game that I know my man Andrew liked. I hope. If not, then we got beef too. WWE Day of Reckoning 2 came out on the GameCube in 2005, 18 years ago. So, again, Day of Reckoning. Is it No Mercy? No. Is it Revenge? No. But this was a fun wrestling game. Shout out to the GameCube. Nintendo had a lot of fun wrestling games. This was a point where a lot of people started to get out of wrestling, and I get it. This was like, for those who don't know, this is like early John Cena, Dave Batista, who actually just did the MK commercial today. That's probably the two biggest start. Brock Lesnar, probably. Actually, no, Brock Lesnar is already gone. So, like, it was this era, you know what I mean? The Cena, Batista era. And the game was good, man. This game has what I call a glitch that some people say is not a glitch. There was a point in the story mode where you had to play a fatal four-way cage match, but the game had a stamina system, right? And anytime you run around the ring, you lose your stamina and you just collapse. So imagine trying to knock down 3 other wrestlers and then climb the cage, which also drains your stamina. It literally took forever. It's like a thing of legends, you know what I mean? But but yo, I love this game, man. I have a special place in my heart for this particular game. It's so much nostalgia. Obviously, again, not as much as No Mercy, SmackDown Comes the Pain, and stuff like that. But this was a good game. Have you ever played this game? What's your thoughts on this?
Nah, I haven't. I never owned the GameCube. You know that. We spoke about that before. That was one system that I never really had any interest of owning. When I was younger, but now that I'm older, I kind of regret that because I missed all of the Mario stuff. This game looked dope though, especially compared to the last wrestling game that we spoke about. That was just horrendous. Oh my god, that was terrible. But this looked pretty smooth. It looks smooth. Y'all could tell me how it played, but it looked like it played very well. It looked pretty good, especially from the year. This only 5 years from after Spider-Man and Venom had no fingers. So I think that's a big jump. You know what I mean? The players look good, the movement looked good. It looked like a decent game. Game. Is this the match you talking about though?
This is a 4-player cage match. And you see the blue bar on the sides is stamina. So you start attacking, you see how fast it drained. So now you gotta climb the cage, which also takes stamina. You know what I mean? And like, yo, it was ridiculous, man. It literally took forever to beat. If you beat it, you are a legend. I would never forget I beat this match, and I like literally jumped out my chair finally. But yeah, man, I love this game. For me, around this time, wrestling games, they were still good. There was a point where I feel like they fell off and then fell way off, but I still love this game. Andrew said, there you go. That was a smack. Stacy on the cover. Shout out to Stacy Keebler as well. Legend. Angel said, I wasn't a fan of this one. WrestleMania 18 on the GameCube was fire, but in that generation of gaming,
Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, or Super Smash Brothers Melee?
Oh, Melee, yeah, of course.
I think he was talking to me because I said I ain't play GameCube.
Oh, okay. Now you had to play Melee, of course.
Yeah, like, I've played GameCube. I never owned the GameCube.
You just didn't have one, okay.
Yeah.
But Andrew said, if I'm not mistaken, they used a similar design with the wrestlers for Xbox WrestleMania 21, one of the best wrestling games. I really hope you joking, Andrew, because 21 was not that good. We talked about that on here. That was the one where I don't know what the hell happened, but the announcer was like Japanese. Like I would not like, and he was pronouncing the wrestler's name wrong because of localization. But I'm gonna have to ask you about that one, Andrew. All right. That's all we got for this week in gaming. Next week we'll have some more games to talk about. let's get into topics. And the first thing we're talking about is the rumors on this new Nintendo Switch console. Now, Wave, we talked about this for a while. Obviously, Nintendo, the Switch came out in 2017. It's obviously starting to get up there in age. We have a new Xbox out that's out for 3 years now, a new PlayStation out for 3 years. So everybody's now looking towards the Switch, right? Rumors are swirling 2024. It's going to be the year we get a update to the Switch, like a brand new Nintendo console. The rumors are crazy. There's been rumors of it being called Nintendo Focus. There's been rumors that they want to get away from the name Switch. Basically, what they're saying is people, of course, and none of this comes directly from Nintendo. So rumor and innuendo, right? They're saying that they feel the Wii U failed, and I know people are gonna laugh at this. They say the Wii U failed because they think that consumers didn't see the Wii U as a new console. It's just an update to the Wii. You see what I'm saying? Right. So some people was like, if I already have the Wii and it works fine, why would I get the Wii U?
I understand that. That makes sense.
I kind of call BS on that, but I can see that, right? I don't quite agree with it, but I can see why they would think that. Games I saw was Nintendo Switch 2, right? That's the obvious one. I saw Super Nintendo Switch, which is kind of cool, but obviously they did the Super Nintendo, right? I've seen Nintendo Switch Pro, but that's more of an update, right? Like that's more of an update. But lately I've just been seeing Nintendo Focus, and I'm like, I don't quite know how I feel.
I don't like that name.
But to be fair, if you would have told me it was called Nintendo Switch, I kind of I don't like that name either. So like, I don't know. So I mean, let's start with the name. Is there a certain name you feel more towards? The Switch Pro, Super Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, Focus, or?
First of all, I think they need to take Focus and throw it in the nearest trash can by the house. That name is terrible. Nintendo Focus is trash. I do like the Super Nintendo Switch because it brings back that Super Nintendo, and that would be dope. I think they would have made a better sales with the Wii U if they would just called it the Wii 2. That sound dope to me, but maybe that's just me. Wii 2, come on, that would have sold. But anyway, back to topics. I think Super Nintendo Switch. I agree with Mo. I think Super Nintendo Switch would have been dope for us old heads that still enjoy playing the game. Super Nintendo is gonna catch your eye immediately, and Switch. I mean, I understand why they call it Switch because it switched from the handheld to the to the TV. Like it makes sense why you name it that. But I agree with the name. I think I would go with is Super Nintendo Switch.
Okay, so before we get into the other, let's get to these comments. Andrew said, Nintendo Game Boy 2023 would attach as a remake. Nintendo Game Boy 2023.
I don't think they need to remake Tetris. Just put it out on a different.
Nintendo, no processing power, so older games is the way she goes, boys. Yeah. Super Nintendo Switch. He said the Sega Nintendo Master System. Like, yo, Andrew on one tonight. Okay.
They will absolutely get sued.
Right. Retro Rob said if it's not backwards compatible, and I'm sure it won't be. That's another rumor. Hold on to that. I won't get it anytime soon. I'm still working on Wii U games, and I only just now bought the Switch. Well, you got a lot of catching up to do on some great games on the Switch. But Andrew said he never played the Wii U, liked his Wii. That's what a lot of people say. You know what I mean? That's like they just didn't even bother with the Wii U. I was a dummy who bought the Wii U.
You a collector,
she's here
just
for
like
Super
Retro
Switch
Rob is collector.
as well. That's not why I bought the Wii U, but
I'm just saying y'all collect games, so it's different for y'all.
Right,
y'all don't count.
Right, but I will say, man, let's get to the rumor is that the Nintendo Focus Switch 2, Super Nintendo Switch, or whatever it's called. There's also a rumor that it will not be backwards compatible. I know people are saying like, yes, of course, because they're going to want to sell an update. They're going to want to sell an update to you want Tears of the Kingdom. It's going to run in whatever. Buy it for the new console. You want to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with wise it makes sense, but I think it would be a huge mistake to literally not have any of these games. Like Tears of the Kingdom came out this year, and if a new console comes out next year, it's not quite right to be not be able to play it, you know?
Right.
Especially because another rumor is they're supposed to still stick to the cartridge. So if you're gonna stick to the same media of way to play it, it should be able to work. You know what I mean? What's your
Right.
thoughts on that? Do you think it possibly not being backwards compatible with the Switch is a mistake, or do you think it's smart?
Well, as on the business side of things, obviously it's smart because people gonna support Nintendo regardless. I know a lot of us in the chat and on the show, we not really feeling that.
Right.
But for as far as business go, I think that'll be smart. It'll force everybody to try to that want to play the new stuff to get the new system. I don't. I think it depends on how um they make the game. You know what I mean? If it's gonna be something similar to the Switch, then it should be backwards compatible because um what it it will lose a lot more people than it gains. But if they go flat out and make another system with no way to switch it from to handheld to just keep the Switch and the OLED as they only two portable slash console games, I think it's no harm in not having backwards compatibility. And then we already seen what they did with the Switch. It may take a while, but at some point you're gonna be able to get to play older games. It may not be when you want to, like which is right away. But obviously they probably gonna want to put out, a lot of their new stuff and like I said, hopefully they get a different mascot the further they reach, because Mario is pretty Mario's goaded to me, but obviously for the younger generation, they need somebody that's more relatable to them, And I don't know. I guess I'm on Nintendo side with the non-compatibility. So I'm not on both sides of the fence.
Sure, sure. I just look like I kind of agree with Mo. He says basically says doesn't even need there's not even a need for a new console, just update the hardware. A lot of folks are saying this, which I kind of agree. If there's like a Switch Pro, right? There's like a
Right.
Switch Pro with the hardware so updated, that's fine. I think Nintendo struck gold with the Switch. I thought the concept was smart. It kind of took where the Wii U kind of failed and like really just went further with it and
Mm-hmm.
perfected it. I think it has the library of games is crazy. So to kind of cut that off and make it buy it again, but Mo also has a good point. They'd release Tears of the Kingdom and people would buy it again. You know what I mean?
Right.
like
That's what I
because
said
they
on the business side. It's smart.
right, yeah, because they definitely did that with Mario Kart 8. Just slapped the deluxe term on it, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Here we are
Right.
again, playing it for 10 years now. But
I mean, we've been playing GTA since my grandma was 20, so
yo, Rockstar gonna see about us, bro. They catch so many strays, yo. They catch so many strays. Andrew said Nintendo needs to focus on subscription with pricing, discounts, better sales, better online, and focus on the new, not the older things that aren't remastered. Handheld consoles becoming big again. That's a good point.
right.
Next week, next week we are going to talk about the PlayStation Portal. I'm not quite sure where Sony's going with that. I know, you know what I mean. We kind of touched upon it last week, but I want to touch upon it more now that there's videos out that Sony
Hey
has put
yo,
out.
just saying.
You're not doing that today.
I gotta pause that. I gotta touch upon it. It's crazy.
King Grease on 9. Let's go, bro. He said, who could be the new mascot for Nintendo? Because Mario's been holding it down since inception. It probably, I mean, technically, if you already think Zelda don't got the title, probably be Zelda, right? Those are
That
the
I
two.
was thinking that.
Those are the two. Because Zelda right now has been killing it on the Switch.
I was
Zelda's been that
thinking
guy.
that.
So I wanna get to another rumor that's been going on with this. Some might like it, some may not care, but Nintendo console rumor is basically GameCube is coming to the Nintendo Online expansion pack, whatever you want to call it. As you know, right now they got the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, the N64, the Super Nintendo, the original Nintendo. People would say the next logical step would be the GameCube, right? Which is cool. GameCube got some titles to definitely come through and play. You know what I mean? But part of the
Mhm.
problem I'm starting to see is like I'm cool. It's kind of what Andrew was saying. I'm kind of cool with the nostalgia of the playing these games and not having to go dust off the GameCube. You know what I mean? and all
Right.
that. But at the same time, it's like I would trade in at least 3 of those virtual consoles for better online experience. Let's start with voice chat. You know what I mean? Let's start with voice chat and not having to use the app for it. Let's start there. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Look, I love the GameCube. A lot of people aren't too hyped on the GameCube. I loved it. I love basically there's not besides the Wii U, I loved every other Nintendo console. But I don't necessarily need to be able to just go play it on a new console on the Switch and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a collector. I have the consoles. I'm sure I know Retro Rob does as well, but I'm not saying not everyone does, and I get that point. But at the same time, I feel like now in 2024, when this comes out, we need to have an online experience with a good game chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's time. It's time. Like Xbox has had it since 2005. PlayStation has had it since 2006 when the PS3 came out. You know,
Hmm.
it's just I don't know. What's your thoughts on that though?
I agree with you. I think having like a solid online and chat is almost like a prerequisite
Yeah,
to games now, you know. But I also think bringing GameCube to the Switch is a good idea because it gives people like me who might have skipped on the Switch a chance to see what it's all. I mean, well, I said the Switch. I'm sorry, the GameCube to
yeah,
see what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? So I hope they kind of take the route that they doing with the rest of the expansion packs, which is dropping just a couple of games, a couple of nuggets in between the other games, and then just slowly but surely releasing some of the classics. And that that would I think that's dope. I think that's a good idea. The issue is, right, going back to the last topic we was talking about, if they do this again, this is going to make it hard for people to realistically uh make buy the new system. If
yep,
everything is on the Switch, why, besides playing the newer games on the new resolution or whatever they plan on doing, what's the point?
right,
I got every single
absolutely,
game on the Switch. What's the point? So they might be shooting themselves in the foot if they keep going this route. You know.
absolutely, absolutely. In the actually, let's get to the comments. To change your battery, and he on one tonight. He on
Oh,
one tonight.
oh,
So I'm ready to
I'm not
talk.
changing it.
Christian Castro, what's good, bro? He said ready to talk smack to 10-year-olds while I play Smash Bros.
That's a fact. 8, 10.
Right, right. Most people talk about how toxic the early days of Xbox Live was, but it was the much better online platform. Still is. It was toxic, but like I said, we all talk about it now. Like when we laugh, right? We laugh. We look. It was toxic, but at the same
Right.
time, that chat and everything was like perfect. You know what I mean? The features that we had is perfect, and they really haven't changed it, to be honest. And there's no need to. Said Christian Castro. This is why Nintendo keeps it all wonky. Y'all break stuff and make kids cry, and Japan takes the fun away. All right, so let's get to the last piece of that, and then we're gonna get into the spin wheel. All right. So, yo, now this is the one that I know Wave is going. He's gonna start laughing because this kind of break, fix, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. The rumor is new Mario Kart, new Mario game, F-Zero, and Pokemon games on the new console. My response to that is kind of duh. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Because we know those are the games that are going to sell. Mario Kart, it always sells. You know what I mean? It's still selling. Any Mario game is in contention for game of the year at this point, right? Same with Zelda. F-Zero would be the new one, right? Because it's been a while since we've seen an F-Zero game. And
Right.
Pokemon is always going to sell. So I'm like, this is like, to me, it's not really a rumor. It's like, duh. I don't think we'll see a Zelda game on it for a while because Tears of the Kingdom is still rocking. We'll probably see that ported over.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like, look, Mario Kart 9 needs to come out. I know there's 88 courses on 8 Deluxe. I just think it's time to kind of give it a fresh look. You know what I mean? There got to be something they could do with it, but the game is still selling, so I see why it doesn't. F-Zero is kind of dope to see, but is it really going to be able to compete with Mario Kart like that? I know it's a different style game. It always was, but is it going to be able to compete with Mario Kart? Who knows? And Pokemon is, again, it's always going to sell. It's kind of like these games are like the cheat codes, right?
Right.
I do want to see some new games, you know what I mean? And then you could also throw in Zelda, like I said, Splatoon 4. There's a bunch of games that they can just put out sequels to. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Right.
Nintendo got what I call the cheat code, where they could put out whatever they want. And as long as these characters that we love are attached, like Smash or whatever, it's going to be hot. It's going to sell, you know?
My question is, how many Pokemon can they make? How many Pokemon can you catch? I mean, godly, it's so many Pokemon. How many Pokemon are there right now? It gotta be over 500 now at this point.
Chat, help us out on that.
Yeah, it gotta be over 500. I'm not saying I wouldn't buy Pokemon games. I got Let's Go Eevee for the Switch, and I think that is pretty cool.
Right.
But at the same time, this goes back to, well, me personally, I want to see something different. Would be nice for them to, come up with something new, a new character. I know I keep saying this, but it's like they gonna Mario us to death. They're gonna Mario us to death. I
It's been
get
35 years, bro.
yeah,
over
Mario was the
35
thing
years.
when I was a kid, and I was a kid a long time ago, a really long time ago, and it's like, that's still they go to, and I get it. It's working. The kids love Mario. We love Mario, but like, it's time to pat. Like, even if it's somebody that they make it in a story where Mario passed the ranks to somebody else,
right?
And then just let them go about saving, Princess Peach every week. That Bowser take her to the crib, and that, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. I'm still excited to see a Nintendo Switch. I just want them to go in a different direction.
Sure.
And maybe, I know they want to, it's for the kids, but like, is it that hard to be creative for the kids? Is it more easier to make stuff for the mature audience only? Like,
is it for the kids or is it accessible to kids? Because I thought that with the Nintendo Switch, right? And some could say it's because obviously where I go out in the circles I'm around, but I've only seen adults walking around with Switches. I very rarely seen kids walking around. Maybe parents don't let them take it out the house, right? And I'm not saying kids don't have Switches. I'm just saying when the Switch came out, it was all adults walking around with them playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's the smartest thing, because when you have a new commodity, you make yourself, the risks you're taking. But I've only seen like adults walk around with playing Switch. It's like, I know it has a big base with the kids, but I also seen a lot of kids playing PS5. You know what I mean? Xbox. So is it for the kids, or does it just have a different art design than a lot of the games on the PS5 and Xbox?
Well, I would say most kids love the new systems because of what the adults kind of push them to. Like, their favorite streamers play like 2K and Madden. You don't see a lot of and I say streamers because that's what the kids is watching nowadays. Kids ain't going watching the news and ESPN and basketball games and movies on the TV. They going to they YouTube. They watching Speed. They watching Flight. They watching AMP. They watching all these guys stream, and they not playing Mario.
Right.
You feel me? They talking about getting a new PlayStation. They talking about getting a new Xbox. This is the reason why I think Nintendo needed a new character. They need something that could relate to the kids in a way that's gonna pull their attention to the Switch. Because once the adults is done with Mario, what they're gonna do?
That's a good point. Let's get to these comments. Got a lot of them. Shout out to, again, for all the love and support, y'all, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Said just keep feeding me new Pokemon games. I'll keep buying them. Like, I don't know if there's been a thing like it that took the world by storm for this long. You could say Mario, but Pokemon TV shows, movies, the
Mario
cards themselves. You know what I mean?
What Pokemon had. Pokemon created world peace for like 3 days.
Word, Pokemon Go. Word.
Yeah, Mario never done that before.
So Pokemon is definitely taking a break. Scarlet and Violet took a beating. It did. I've never seen, like, falling for Pokemon is not far. It's not a far fall, but like it still fell. You know what I mean? Because usually it come out it's just perfect. Pokemon used to be so basic and awesome because everyone could play, trade, and battle. Now it's a madhouse. If you don't follow Day One and follow their TikTok and Facebook pages, I love Pokemon, but damn man, give us red, blue, yellow reboot. So you're not here for it.
Facts.
Bobby said, I can't wait for Super Mario Wonder. So there's a direct on the 31st of August about that game. So make sure you check into that. We'll definitely talk about it next week. October can't get here fast enough. See, I'm telling you, bro.
It's crazy.
Andrew,
that's my point. And once the old people get tired of it, though.
Drew claims there's 666 Pokemon. Said there's over 1,000. Said Pokemon navy blue, teal, orange, cream soda, strawberry wine. Yo, he on one tonight. I'm telling you. Christian said I need a Mario Sluggers reboot. That's a good one. Mario Sluggers. I love Mario Sluggers, man. I thought they were good. Like, I know I didn't like the one on the Wii though. I thought it was going to be so good, but I didn't like the one on the Wii. I love the one on the GameCube though.
Are we giving these companies an out with just wanting all the reboots? What about the new content?
We're in the era, man. We're in the era. Like it's that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Everything's getting a remake, a reboot, or whatever. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
We're in that era. So Mario is eventually going to be one of those creepy anime games you see for $3.99. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think it falls that hard.
That
would be crazy though.
Most said in response to you, Wave, he said that's why Nintendo dropped Super Mario Maker. They said make your own damn game.
Yo, people made some crazy boards on the Super Mario Maker. It's incredible some of the stuff that I've been seeing.
They did. King said Mario sells, so it's hard to go in a different direction. Like I said, any of those games pop out, instant dollars. You know what I mean? Instant dollars. It's never going to change. Poser, Roger, Barrio said we need old school Nintendo games like Contra, Jackal, Life Force, those games. Some of those are on the Switch Online, right? The Switch
those
Online.
Those games are on the Switch, the PlayStation, and the Xbox.
Yeah, you could find them, but he might mean like a package that come with a special control. You know what I mean? Like the collectors, but those games are out. Angel said Nintendo needs to open the games for all consoles. They're leaving so much money on the table. So he's saying take the Sega approach. Sega dropped out the console business. Or he's saying still have your console, but open up the games on a platform. Have Mario, Zelda, Xbox, PlayStation.
I think he mean like, letting, opening up and stop being so exclusive.
Yeah. Jessica said right now the market everywhere is nostalgia. That's true.
Even the music, TV shows, it's nothing new.
Like if I keep hearing the same song sampled, you know what I mean? That was sampled of a sample of a sample of a sample. So I get it.
I feel like I'm at Costco's when I listen to hip hop.
Most of this is what happens when you ignore the arts, endless reboots and remakes. That's a good point. It's a very good point. And I say that but I fall for it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, I fall for it. Like when I see certain things that I like rebooted and remade, it's like
I'm a sucker too. Because I definitely got Tony Hawk's 1, 2 Pro Skater.
I mean, this is nothing. It's not even in development. People are talking about they might remake and remaster Zombie 8 My Neighbors to kind of modernize.
That would be dope. I would definitely cop that.
I'm buying it.
That's my game. They about to remake Grand Theft Auto 5 before GTA 6 come out.
Yo, they probably will. I'm not gonna lie, they probably will. Angel said when new comes out, if it fails in the current market. You can say that Cyberpunk, Anthem. I know these games aren't the best examples of good games that came out, but at the same time, sometimes you can't. What was it? I forgot what it said, but you can't fuck with the original. You know what I mean? Right. Like the new can't fuck with. I'm just saying.
Remember that developer that was complaining about people not buying his games, and it goes to that point. If you make a good game, I forget his name. I don't want to missay it.
I won't. John Garvin created the game Days Gone.
Bro,
he said, don't buy discounted games, pay full fucking price. That was the exact quote. Pay full fucking price for my games.
But bro, like the market shows you if you make good quality games, you're gonna sell. Like, yeah, everybody want nostalgia, everybody want the remakes, but if you make good games, it's gonna sell. Yeah, Cyberpunk was a bad example because that game was so buggy you couldn't play it. I haven't got past the first part. Is uninstalled, never installed it again. Anthem is the same way.
They play GTA 5 in a retirement home. Like, word.
That's a
That's a
fact.
fact. So when did we get Conquer on the 64? On the 64 on the Switch? Never, never, never. I'm telling you, you will never see that game under Nintendo like again. People that that game was controversial, man. Like I know, obviously as adults, you know what I mean, but
Right.
a lot of folks didn't like their kids playing it, even though those same parents went out to go buy Grand Theft Auto for their kids. I get the hypocrisy though.
The name should tell you that that's not a game for kids. It's
Thank you,
literally a
Christian.
crime
Thank you,
on the
Christian.
title.
When we did that episode, we were saying a good quality game doesn't drop much in price, used or not. He was basically saying him seeing Days Gone in the bins at GameStop and stuff. He didn't like it because he thought everybody should pay full price for every game. Discounting shouldn't happen in gaming. We called him out for it. It's kind of a classic moment. But look, man, I hope John's doing all right. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. All right. Let's get to the spin wheel, man. Let's get to the spin wheel on. We'll get out of here. You ready, Wave?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Let's get to it. Make sure y'all comment y'all answers as well. Would you rather play only single player games or would you rather only play multiplayer games, Wave?
This is easy. You know what? I'll take that back. It's not that easy. Only because I enjoy one player games. I enjoy storylines. You know, I'm a storyline guy, especially when we talk about certain games. But multiplayer all the way. I like playing games with my homies. I like being able to chat with randoms sometimes, not all the time, because some randoms are stupid.
Sure.
But for the most part, I just love the community of gaming. And if you only play in single player, you want to really have that. So it is easy. It's not as simple, but it's easy. Multiplayer games only. I take that in a heartbeat.
Most said only multiplayer, just said single player. Andrew said single player. Andrew said multiplayer all day. King said only multiplayer, only single player by Bobby Drake. And he's a sucker for like storylines, story modes.
Right.
Christian said single player. People suck. Can't argue with that.
Right.
Holder said multiplayer with the cousin. Hey, I gotta go multiplayer.
People skipping on.
I gotta go multiplayer because if you look at my favorite consoles, they all have a tie to multiplayer, right? The 64, obviously the 4-player slots, Dreamcast, Power Stone 2, playing that, 360, PlayStation 2 with a lot of those games, playing those games. It's all around mode. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? I could play single player games, but if I had to pick one as multiplayer, too much. I feel like there's more games I would have missed out on with multiplayer than, you know what I mean, than single player. Andrew said Starfield in 2 days at 8 p.m. That's a fact.
Touche.
That's a fact. All right, let's get to the next one. And don't lie, y'all. Have you ever beaten a game without using any cheat codes? And what was the game? So don't just say yeah and lie. What was the game? Or give an example of a game. Wave, I'll start with you.
I'm thinking more recently. So more recently, I would say Elden Ring.
Elden Ring?
Yeah. I didn't do no cheating, but I definitely had my homeboy help me, which is why I would do multiplayer only. Because if it wasn't for that, I probably would still be playing Elden Ring right now. That game was super tough, but yeah, I beat a few games without no cheats. That's the most recent one.
I'm trying to think what's the last game that you technically could beat. You know what I mean? That I like really like played all the way through. What what was the game that dropped? I think we were in the pandemic. Out was it
Dying Light.
Outriders? Outriders?
Oh, Outriders. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Outriders. I love that game, man. I love that game. I know that game kind of got washed away by I forgot what game came out that year that just blew it away in terms of like the awards.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't remember
was
either.
it Ghost? No, it wasn't Ghost. Something came out,
Nah,
just blew that
Ghost
game
of
out the
Tsushima
water.
came out
But
couple after that.
Outriders was definitely one that I just like ran through, and actually I don't even think there were cheat codes for that game or anything like that. But yeah, there's a bunch of games that I've beaten, like, but that was probably the last one I played all the way through was Outriders. Let's see what the chat got. Said, "Yep, Contra." That's a good one.
That's tough too. That's a tough
Of
game.
course, he said can't get 100% with cheat. Of course, that got the infamous the train mission.
That train mission ain't as hard as people say.
I always say it because people always like that. They always reference the train mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I played that on a remaster. I'm like, this ain't that. I mean, they probably made it easier than I remember, but that was not as hard.
You know what? I'm about to make a shirt for Passive Six since Rockstar likes to steal our money. I'm about to make a shirt that says all you gotta do is follow the damn train. Like,
Right, that's a fact.
Angel said South Park for N64 and Division 2. Division 2 is a great one. South Park as well.
I love Division 2.
Oh, by the way, we covered there's a new South Park game coming out 2024, 3D action game. We covered the game last week. I forgot to even say what the game was called. It's called South Park Snow Day. We literally talked about the game in depth last week, and I forgot to give the damn name. South Park Snow Day is the game that's coming out next year. But that's a good one. Bobby said God of War. Andrew said the entire Halo series. That's a good one.
Damn. Halo is dope.
Christian said, yeah, I existed before the internet. Super Mario World was the first game I ever beat, and damn, I was hyped. All the Metal Gear Solids, of course, Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. That was dope.
Still haven't beat Super Mario World.
You said it was Ghost that kind of just blew Outriders out of the water in terms of the awards.
Oh, I thought that came out the next year. Okay.
Said Spider-Man Web of Shadows. That was a good game too. I forgot about that game. Shout out to you, bro. I forgot about that game.
My boy Reese with the nostalgia.
He said it wasn't tough. That the train mission, of course, we're talking about. All you had to do was follow the damn train.
Right. That joint was not that hard. I don't know why people make that such a big deal.
Bobby agreed, said the train mission isn't hard. Now the helicopter mission on Vice City had me tired. Blue Stanger on Dreamcast as well. That's a good one too. Wow. I forgot about Blue. I have it, but I forgot about that game. All right. That's another one. When it comes to storytelling and emotional impact, do you think the Last of Us series surpasses Life is Strange? So that's crazy because you know what? I never emotional impact. Are you familiar with Life is Strange?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Life is Strange. I didn't get too far in that game. Okay. I'm stuck on Last of Us 2. So like I'm thinking like because I watched people play it. So like we spoke before about like how, you know, what games made you emotional and you know, just having emotion when it comes to the game. I wouldn't say really either one of these games had an emotional impact on me. So as far as like the storyline go, it's just a little tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mo, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think I'm gonna go with The Last of Us, man. I mean, that story was just a little bit more sad to me.
Christian. Um, this one's tough. First of all, shout out to Mo for putting me on to Life is Strange. That was a franchise I ended up liking that I never even thought I would. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I do agree. Both are good stories. Life is Strange, though. It really is. Like, damn, that's a good one. I'll probably go because of the question, right? If I say like what's better game, I'd probably go Last of Us, of course. But for the question itself, probably Life is Strange. Just because Last of Us, obviously there's action and stuff to kind of offset it. Whereas Life is Strange is just it's like constant. You know what I mean? It's
straight
constant.
into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I definitely say Life is Strange, but that's a good question. And no, I did not make that up. I wish I could take credit for it, but I did.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Andrew said different emotions for each one. Last of Us and fear, loss, heavy decision, but Life is Strange hits more at home with actual decisions that we can relate to more.
I agree.
He said my type of skills not be good tonight. All right, let's do one more. Let's get out of here. Last one. Appreciate y'all. What gaming experience have you had that fostered a strong sense of escapism and immersion? Basically, what games did y'all play that just basically you looked up, it was one time, you looked up again, a bunch of times just vanished?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I'm thinking. Honestly, I would say it's NBA Live 2005.
Okay.
As far as games as that I just I played. Like, I remember when I was in school, kids, if you listening, don't do this, but once in a blue moon, I would jip school, me and the homies to play some games, and we would play like a couple of games. Next thing you know, it's time to go home. You know what I mean? We done missed our chance to get back to the school. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even outside of that, it was a little community center where you go to, a little church, and you could like play hoops, you could play pool. But just was a place for young kids to hang out, so they're not getting in trouble. And I would get in trouble because I would get home so late because I was playing live, trying to do the dunk contest, the 3-point contest. I think that was like one of the only basketball games where the All-Star game was fun.
Yeah.
Maybe the last one. The last time the All-Star game was actually fun on the game. But I would have to say Live 05.
That's a good one. That's a good one because the dunk contest, the 3-point shooter, hell, even playing the rookie, like the rookies versus sophomore, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that was dope too. This one's tough. I mean, the first game that comes into my mind, and my wife can attest to this. I'll still pop the game on and just play. Is No Mercy. You know what I mean? Like if something going on or whatever, I still could just pop that game in and just start playing survivor mode or just throw on like a Royal Rumble. You know what I mean?
right.
So No Mercy is probably the first game that I could think of that I could just throw on. I still get lost into it. Super Mario 64 is a good one. Hell, there was a time where I'd even say Jurassic Park Evolution when that came to Game Pass. I literally got lost in that game for a good, you know what I mean? For a good minute when I was but that's definitely the immersion part. Yeah, I still got to go No Mercy because I've been doing it like with that game for 20 something years now. You know what I mean? Just in terms of whenever I need to get my mind off something, pick No Mercy, the created characters, grab the fire extinguisher, like you know what I mean?
Right.
Just the stop sign, just beat somebody down. You know what I mean? Let's get to
I
this
could
chat.
go Destiny too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Hell, Halo 3. I mean, real talk. Like
yeah, there's a few games I can name.
All right, so Mo said Civ 6. Andrew said Civ 5 and 6. Jess says you can't think of anything but anything involving the 360. I bet you for one for her would be Fable. That's a good one.
I enjoy all three Fables myself. Those are Gary games.
Gamer Live, look, was good, bro. He said the very first Division since the concept was new for a looter shooter game. It was a masterpiece when it dropped. Yo, I remember when the beta for Division came out. I was like, I never played anything like this. Like, you know what I mean? I was so, and I loved it. And then Division 2 was great as well. I'm down for a third one, to be honest, but that's a good one.
Kings, I liked how Halo they incorporated their multiplayer. I like the way they incorporated their multiplayer in Division 2.
Yeah,
that was dope.
King said, "Hey, Halo Reach, that's a good one. Halo Reach is a good one." Christian, Chrono Cross, we just covered it like a few. Bobby said, "Metal Gear Solid, God of War, Kingdom Hearts." Yo, I didn't even think about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, the first one. I put so much time for that first one.
That's a good one. And Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming too. That I'm thinking next year. It might be 2025 though. But Destiny Solo. See, Destiny's up there too. Damn, Andrew and Mo talking about they put in hours and hours and hours on Civ 6. Dude, you play Civ 6 Wave or not?
I tried it. I really didn't understand what I was doing. So I cut it off immediately. It's one of those. That's one of those games where you really gotta pay attention to details and get into the learn every single thing. So you got to build a society. So I'm not with that.
Gamer Live. Hold on. New Division is be called Homeland, and it's open world. And wait, hold on. Did you know about this, Wave?
Nah, he corrected it. It's Heartland.
Okay, but still, did you know we got a new game coming? That's in the works.
Nah, but I played Division 1 and 2. I'm big fans of both of those. So if they got a new division coming out, I'm definitely gonna do my research. Like FYB J Main, I'm gonna do my homework on that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But yo, that's all we got for this week's show. Appreciate as always, appreciate the support, man. As we like I said, Tuesday nights is the new night. We got off the phone with the NFL. They was like, yo, don't compete with us. We was like, all right, yo, I'm telling you, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move the show to Tuesday nights. You got to start slipping with these Monday night games, and we back.
Right.
So, but yo, real talk, shout out to the support. Shout out to Retro Rob, Mo, Andrew, Christian, Gamer Look, Live Look, Jess, King. All y'all appreciate the love. As always, we'll be back next week, of course. A lot more stuff to talk about. I believe next week there's a console that's celebrating an anniversary as well, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, and by the way, that console would be the Dreamcast. But at the same time, we'll talk about that next week. We'll catch y'all. Tsunami Wave, take it away, bro.
Yo, we appreciate the support, man. We appreciate everybody for taking time on a Tuesday night, evening, morning, whatever time it is for you to come hang out with us and talk video games and shoot us some comments to spice it up a little bit. We always appreciative of the support.
100%.
Any way you could, whether it's lurking, liking, sharing, putting comments in, just bringing eyes to what we like to do. Because we want to make this more of a regular thing for you.
Right.
Peace.
All right, we out. Peace. Catch ya.